Continuing. I'm gonna start here. For any target, animate or inanimate, to be interacted with, the energy must first reach the target. Propagation is what determines how efficiently energy reaches the intended target. Propagation is dependent on energy loss and energy spread. Energy spread occurs whether both the weapons and the targets are on Earth or in the vacuum of space. Energy loss occurs as the energy interacting with a physician, with a physical medium, such as the interaction with the atmosphere with either the weapons or the targets in the atmosphere. Even directed energy weapons have a small amount of energy spread inherent to their design. For example, a laser will have some amount of beam divergence due to refraction of light. Beam divergence can be particularly accommodated for with adaptive optics. All forms of directed energy may have energy spread through heating the surrounding atmosphere, causing divergence within this beam channel and nonlinear effects. This is minimized by creating a beam channel between two parallel laser beams, which create a plasma through which the desired beam may pass more readily unobscured. This is not true in the vacuum of space. Electromagnetic waves do not need a physical medium to propagate and will travel at the speed of light in a vacuum. Obviously, propagation through the atmosphere has many more variables associated with it, such as aerosol content, water vapor content, and amounts of particle particulate particulate matter. However, extensive research has been done to overcome these variables for each type of directed energy weapon. Lasers have been the most troublesome of the directed energy weaponized due to energy loss and spread problems. However, it has been done. High energy laser systems have been produced for missile defense systems mounted on ships, planes, and ground installations. In 2010, the Los Angeles County Prison System announced they will be putting into use a laser system to control unruly prisoners. The ceiling mounted device will allow deputies. Now, this was 2010. The ceiling mounted device would allow deputies to target difficult prisoners with a joystick controller to inflict a painful burn in order to control them. In reality, each are devil. In reality, laser is only used in this system for target acquisition, and is not the modality causing the burning sensation. The system called the assault intervention device is similar to other systems called the active denial system and silent guardian protection system. All are manufactured by Raytheon. Ain't that about a bitch? Raytheon, and all use millimeter wave technology to inflict a painful stimulus that causes the target to move out of the path of the beam. Millimeter wave move at the speed of light and penetrate skin to a depth of 1/64th of an inch, causing thermal pain and dermal nerve endings. The range, depending on the system used, may be between 250 meters and 500 meters. Now, take the time to how, take the time. I mean, not digressing because this is getting juicy right here. Uh, but take the time to think about this. Like they're going into dermal, that's the skin, and like I said, see how calculating Esau is. You know what I mean? Like how he went into, like you see. I mean, if you've been following the series, how they took studies from years ago. Like I said, when you really take the time to think about like with HARP. Like HARP doesn't have just the primary function of actually affecting the weather. It does more than just that. Go get a book on it or go look up the information. It's supposed to be able to actually mess with your mental state. So my point being, and yet still they still gonna try and roll out this road G. It ain't they trying, they already done did it. You know what I mean? A lot of states got that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I remember one day one of the brothers in the camp, he was walking to work, and he said he looked up and he see, you know, the 5G gyros because in the suburbs in certain areas they don't, you can see but it look like a fake tree, but in certain areas they don't even give a fuck, especially in the ghettos. Like I remember one of the brothers brought out the fact of Watts. The city Watts is called Watts because they ran on them power lines through there. With that much electricity, you know what I'm saying? Like if you ever seen that movie, like what was that shit called? Aaron Brockovich, where what I'm saying, basically like how Esau, I think it was power lines that actually caused cancer in that area, and that's how they end up having a lawsuit. But my point being, like, Esau is the motherfucking devil. I ain't mean to digress though. Salakia. It says, like I said, so if you know, like I said, and you've had actual people like doctors in the health community, health organizations, go on record and make statements. Yeah, I mean, like I said, your skin is the biggest organ in your body. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, or the biggest organ, period. So, you know what I mean? Like they don't even know the effects of this shit. That's how you know the time is short. Like I said, they don't even give a fuck. And then to show you how reprobate Esau is for real, you gonna get you gonna get affected by the shit too. Like it's just like I said, this is funny shit. Like me and a guy I know, a 230, he was talking about, he worked construction, and he was talking about how OSHA actually caught them on the roof. So OSHA is all about safety. I've been in HVAC. I went to school for it, and if you let that freon off in the atmosphere, you get fined. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about safety. But these the same motherfucking people that sit up there and pollute the water. Like remember when Exxon spilled all that fucking oil? Then they were so goofy they called themselves creating a fucking some kind of organism to go eat up the fucking water. I mean, eat up the oil out the water, but the motherfucking organism actually got bigger. Like they did, like, it just they said this motherfucker like is like Dr. Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like Esau just do shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why he gotta be motherfucking destroyed. Cause like I said, you know what I got a scripture. Salakia. Um, this is Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sakes, those days shall be shortened. Because, like I said, if you leave this fucking red Hebrew Edomite in charge of, or keep on letting him have rulership over this planet, you know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be no flesh saved. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, that's why he all into the transhumanism now. You know what I mean? Like, I did videos on that. Like I said, and like I said, I even brought it out about the one guy. Like I said, I'll never forget it. It was right before I was coming to the truth, right before I actually went through um, my testimony or whatever. And basically, it was a guy. I think his name was something Richard Seed or something like that. I saw him on like Discovery Channel or some shit like that, and he up there like, "Yeah, I'm gonna live forever, and if you try to stop me from living forever, I'm gonna kill you." I mean, he said this shit on national TV. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean. It, but Salakia, it says, however, there are frequencies and quite low. So the DoD protects their electronic equipment by encasing them in metal boxes. For example, the control centers for unmanned predator drones are encased in metallic cargo containers for protection from this type of directed energy attack. In theory, a suit of aluminum foil would shield from millimeter or microwave weapon attack. However, folding and cornering of most thin, malleable metal shielding results in micro tears where the target will still be vulnerable to attack. One DoD official stated if you were going to make a metal suit to protect from microwaves, you'd be better off making it out of steel so you could be bulletproof as well. An interesting observation of microwaves is that they would skip across the ocean surface, extending range well beyond that extent intended when beamed at the Earth from space. While salt water is a good conductor of electrical current, it reflects microwaves in a manner similar to metallic surfaces. Says before their use against biologic targets, microwaves were developed for use against electronic targets. Electronic equipment is particularly vulnerable to microwave attack. The thin strips of wire, semiconductors, and circuitry etched up onto a circuit board can be easily heated to the point of destruction. Circuit boards are designed with some overheating in mind. Heat sinks are incorporated into the broad material that allow for normal dissipation of heat when normal currents are applied. It's going into particle beams. The latest form of directed energy to be extensively researched is scalar energy. To date, many physicists doubt the existence of scalar waves. However, every industrialized nation is actively researching them. Scalar waves do not obey Maxwell's equation, which govern most electromagnetic waves and are thus hard to describe as a propagating waveform. Some researchers describe them as static points of light, which are activated by a transfer of energy, while others describe them as traveling faster than the speed of light. Field theory dictates that energy decreases from the point of transmission of most types of waves up to its point of reception by a receiver. Thus, received power is generally lower than the original transmitted power. This is not true for scalar waves. There is no attenuation of power during transmission of scalar waves. Therefore, scalar waves provide for the wireless transfer of electrical energy. Many physicists have suggested that this would only be possible in the vacuum of space. However, researchers Constantine Meal has demonstrated the effects of scalar wave in the atmosphere. His research has shown that scalar waves propagate at 1.5 times the speed of light, transfer energy to a receiver, and are not attenuated by an aneroic chamber. Scalar wave technology has a profound impact on possible non-consensual experimentation. With this type of directed energy, many of the people voicing complaints of directed energy exposure have tried shielding themselves with an iconic chamber to no avail. Furthermore, investigators have reported using spectrum analyzers to scan alleged victims' homes for extraneous radio frequencies, only to find untraceable waveforms and energy level increases. These findings suggest that some of the current experimentation be scalar based, or at least maybe using scalar waves to modulate other waveforms through most forms of non-shielding material. And he just basically goes into, well, this is interesting tad bit because he said in conclusion, the chapter was going in on directed energy solely meant to touch on the surfaces of technology for the naive reader. Those readers with physics backgrounds or further interest in the topic can certainly find information on directed energy that is written in more technical terms. For the purpose of this book, I wanted to introduce the reader to technology that may be unfamiliar to them. It is important that the public become aware of this technology due to its increased use on the private sector. During the writing of this book, several alarming deployments of directed energy technology on the public occurred. Several cities saw the use of long-range acoustic devices, and they got a acronym LRADS by local law enforcement agencies to institute crowd control. That's a spirit, because I was just speaking on all that. So that's the whole point of me bringing out this lesson and going into this chapter. The the LRAD emits a disorienting beam of sound at targets, causing them to clear out of a desired perimeter. It was used at the G20 summit in Pittsburgh. Did not know that, so that's a good piece of information. It was used at the G20 summit in Pittsburgh and British Columbia, as well as on a crowd in San Diego, California. A millimeter wave weapon produced by Raytheon is currently being tested in the Los Angeles prison. Millimeter waves, which cause a burning sensation in the skin, are being reportedly remotely controlled by prison guards to alter the behavior of uncooperative prisoners. Identical to the Army's active denial system, the burning sensation caused by the millimeter waves indicate the target Salakia induces the target to move out of the direction of the beam. The burning sensation ceases once the target moves out of the beam direction. If this technology seems futuristic to you, then the future has arrived with the potential to worsen exponentially. So I'm gonna stop there. It wasn't too many precepts I think come to mind with it. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I hope it was an edifying video. I'm gonna end it there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Waha, Rachakadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the corners of the earth. And with that, I want to say, Adawan Ratazah, I'm able to bring more lessons out, Lord willing, as soon as possible. And with that, I want to say shalom, shalom, and abad babal.